Hi, I'm Mr. Rosengrant, and we have with us here today Melissa Falk, the Dean of Admissions and Financial Aid at Muhlenberg College. Melissa, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So we're here today to talk about the college applications, and students want to know, how do I apply to college and what is the Common App?
Sure. So seniors, now that you've finished your junior year, you are officially seniors, whether you realize it or not. And this is a great time to start doing some of that planning. And logistically, there's nothing actively that you really have to do at this point other than perhaps put together some timeline and do some real thinking. And so particularly as it relates to the Common Application, there are about 900 colleges and universities in the US that subscribe to the Common Application. And as you might guess, because it's called the Common Application, the hope is to really streamline the application process for students as they're applying to a lot of schools that may, in fact, subscribe to this Common Application. So there isn't redundancy or additional work that you have to have in terms of filling out your name and your mailing address, et cetera, but rather there's a streamlined platform specifically for you to be able to apply to multiple schools that subscribe to the Common Application. The Common Application becomes live on August 1st each year. So again, you've got some time until then, but can certainly get excited, do some thinking, and do a little bit of the logistical planning, if you will, to make sure that you're ready for that process. In terms of actually getting ready to apply, technically now you can even sign in and create your Common Application account. Even though it will not be active for the upcoming cycle that you're applying for the fall of 2022, I can't believe it's almost, you're applying for the fall of 2022. That actually caught me off guard, sorry. You can actually create your account now and start some of your college research using the Common Application platform as a tool, because once you actually create your account, you can start to add colleges and universities that you may have some interest in. And by doing that, what you're allowing for is for your information to then get sent to those colleges and universities, and then you can receive information in return from them about their programs, about student life, about living on campus, about financial aid and scholarships, things that are going to be helpful to you as you narrow down your college process and make some decisions about where you apply. And so while you can create that account now, know what will happen ultimately when the Common Application for the fall 22 and spring 22 applications become live. Your account will then roll over, and you're going to have to actually actively indicate that you want your information that you submitted prior to August 1 to roll over into that current account, so that you'll be ready then to receive current information from colleges and universities, but also that your most up-to-date information and your ability to submit applications is active then at that point.
And what are the different parts of a college application?
Yeah, so the Common Application itself and many college and universities individual applications themselves includes biographical and demographic information. Where do you live? What's your name? What's your email address? Pro tip, make sure that email address is an email address that you actually use, because guess what? Colleges and universities are actually going to use that information that you submit on your application as the way to communicate with you. And you certainly don't want to miss out on any kind of information that will be vital to you completing and having a successful application process. So the application itself will have some of that general information. In addition to which, you're also going to have the opportunity to submit either separately or through the application your activities resume. Your activity resume could include everything that you're involved in that is school related. So it could be athletic teams, it could be clubs, it could be leadership, it could be service, as well as anything that you're involved in outside the classroom. And that might be community work, it might be connection to a religious organization, a church, a synagogue, whatever it is where you spend your time outside. It could also be list a job. If you work outside of high school, whether it's in a community or in retail, how is it that you spend your time, and potentially what talents and interests are you going to bring with you to that college or university ultimately when you're a student? Other parts of the application also include your academic transcript, which is actually the most important part of your application. I can't imagine there's any college or university dean out there that will say otherwise. So your academic transcript and profile will include everything from your coursework. We'll be able to see your grades, the rigor of your classes, the trends and achievements specifically. That whole body of academic work is really important for colleges and universities to determine whether or not there's an academic match between you and that college or university, particularly because what we're really trying to do is make really good matches academically to make sure that we're inviting students to be part of our academic communities that are in a position to be successful and they're ready to do college level work. In addition to which, and this isn't always the case, but sometimes the case, official standardized test scores could also be part of that application. This upcoming year, like in this previous year, there are far more colleges and universities that have committed to being what is called test optional or test blind, or have more test flexible policies. And so that's something that certainly to be mindful of in terms of what those requirements may be for the colleges and universities that you're applying to. fairtest.org is a great website to take a look at to confirm whether or not the schools that you are looking to apply to require or do not require at all, or have more flexible testing options as far as submitting standardized test scores. And finally, another part of your application is the teacher recommendation piece of things. Recommendations can include your school counselor. It can include academic teachers that have taught you all throughout high school. And I know that we're going to spend a little bit more time talking a little bit more about recommendations, but those are the different components of the application potentially for you all. And each piece plays a varied role, but all together help give admissions counselors like myself and my team a more complete picture of how ready you are to actually move on to college academic work, as well as be part and be positive contributing members of college communities once you arrive.